Imaging Resource, and I'm here in a closed-door meeting with Sally Smith-Clements from Olympus at PhotoPlus East. We're talking about a camera that's not been announced yet. By the time you see this, will be about 2 weeks hence on November 5th. This is a follow-on to the very popular Olympus EP1. And Sally, what can you tell us about the new camera?
It's pretty exciting, Dave. The Olympus EP1, or Digital Pen as it's fondly become known, was the very first camera that we introduced based on the Micro Four Thirds standard, as you recall, back in June. We are now introducing, here on November 5th, the EP2, the second generation Micro Four Thirds camera from Olympus.
Great. Well, we did look at it. It looks really exciting. It's actually very similar to the EP1 in appearance, but it's got an interesting new feature.
It does. It's, first of all, right off the bat, you can see that it is a black body. There is an accessory port on this body that will allow you to add optional accessories like the electronic viewfinder that it will ship with, by the way. There's also an external microphone adapter for it so that you can actually add external mics to the camera, those people that are doing recording with video.
Yeah, that EVF is really special. It's extremely high resolution. I was looking through it before. It's, what is it, 11440 kDots?
It is, Dave, and it's also articulated, so if you're shooting from the hip or if you're even on a copy stand, shooting products for eBay or whatever, you can use it that way as well. It's got a built-in diopter adjustment, of course. It's also almost like a high eye point. It's a 1.15x magnification, so it's a very large diameter, 100% view, and it's about twice as bright and twice the contrast of the other types that are on the market right now.
Yeah, it's very sharp looking through it. I particularly like the way the diopter adjusts on it. Instead of having to fiddle for some kind of a little control on the side, the whole bezel around the eyepiece actually moves.
Literally just rotated. It's very convenient. Like you said, it's not hard to grab onto. And there's also a power button right on the back of the EVF that you can push if you want to go from the EVF to the LCD on the back of the camera.
The other thing I noticed looking through it, besides the brightness that you mentioned, it is a very large view. That's extremely high resolution, and it's a looks like it's a striped RGB sensor, and that you don't. Some electronic viewfinders that have been very high resolution, they use a kind of a series red, green, blue kind of strobes, and those have always bothered me a little bit when I look if my eye moves quickly or I change direction with the camera. I'll see kind of red, green, blue ghosts following it. This here was very high refresh rate, and it didn't have any ghosting with it.
And that's one of the things I think that first strikes you. You know, the brightness and the sharpness as you look through it, but there's very little ghosting, if any, when you start to move and pan with the subject or follow a subject. So I think it's going to be very pleasing to people.
And the EVF will be packed in the box with the EP2, so it's a standard accessory as opposed to an optional one that you buy separately.
Yes, I think it will likely be available as an option if you choose to buy the individual components by themselves, but initially, right out of the gate, so to speak, it will be bundled with the EVF.
Great, and then you mentioned too there's going to be an accessory. We don't have an example of it here, but an audio out jack that you can plug in there too.
There is, and what's nice is it will also slide right into this accessory port. By the way, the accessory port on the back is designed. It's a pretty sophisticated multi-pin port, and along with EVF and the external microphone adapter port, other things will probably be coming in the future that will be able to adapt to this. But this ability to be able to put a microphone adapter onto this particular product and then add your own external mics, whether it's a little Olympus, stereo mic, or a larger shotgun mic, or perhaps you've got your own mic, that will enable you to physically get the microphone away from the camera body. So if you are a cinematographer and you're doing video work, you can be more concise and precise with your audio recording.
Yeah, that really opens it up a lot for you to say the videographers. Audio is always tough, just working with a little microphone on the camera, being able to mic it or use a wireless mic like we're doing right now. You can do that with the EP2.
Sure.
And speaking of video, we also have a new feature with exposure for video, I understand.
We do. You've got full manual control now of both aperture and shutter speed of video recording. That's new. As I mentioned, you've got autofocus tracking and continuous AF. It's very fast. That's pretty amazing. You've also got 2 new art filters, a diorama art filter and a cross-process art filter. It's a little bit difficult to explain those, but I'm sure you guys will have some samples that your viewers can come back and check out. And there's a few other features internally that have been ramped up on this body, like CEC control, so you can control the camera with the remote control from your television.
Oh, it's the consumer electronics control. So when it's an industry standard, I guess, that came from the TV industry. So when you're connected over an HDMI port with an HDMI cable, the television remote can control the camera.
Yes, exactly. And also a new mode of shooting called Eye Enhance, which is a a color mode, if you will. Already, you know, with our products, you've got natural, you've got vivid, you've got monotone, the different color options you can select initially when you start to shoot. A new one called Eye Enhance, which is really interesting. I'm anxious to try it myself. That will be able to register the dominant color value in your scene so that it can enhance just that color within the entire scene so that the scene looks more similar to how your mind reported it when you saw it. So you think of a sunset, blood red sun right in the center of the frame. Now all of the clouds and all the perimeter of the horizon, wherever that same color orange and red is, that's been recorded in Eye Enhance, that will all be enhanced in the final shot.
Yeah, the examples you showed me that earlier in the prints look pretty interesting. It's, our mind's eye tends to focus on the subject, you know, kind of regardless of the composition or what's going on around it, and then when you look at it just on a, you know, a flat print, it doesn't show up as vividly. But the Eye Enhance does a good job of kind of picking the subject out from the background. And the autofocus tracking, I think that's something we'll take a look at more directly. That was very interesting. Is you can select that particular point that you're going to focus on, and then once you've set the focus, it'll track that through the image. I guess it's following maybe color and contrast to identify that subject.
It does, and it works with face detection. It's easy to access when you go into the live control menu. You've got the typical autofocus modes that you would expect: the single AF, continuous AF, single AF plus manual, and manual. But you now have C-AF, that stands for continuous autofocus, TR for tracking. And you'll see once you're set on that, a bounding box that will follow your subject around. You can establish what your subject is. It doesn't have to be a face of a person. It could be an inanimate object. But that box will follow the individual or the object all the way across the viewing area. It's not like it's limited to just the center portion. And in playing with the product, granted this is still a pre-production product, it won't begin shipping until December, but it's been interesting because it is able to keep up even though you're moving very quickly. So I think it's going to be a very fun way to use the camera now.
And it's constantly updating the focus while it's doing that, so it's kind of you're in the pre-focus conditions, so presumably then when you actually do trip the shutter.
Good point. Good point. There's virtually no lag at that point because you've depressed the shutter release halfway, you've locked in on your target, and now you're simply just track following it, whether it's a little kid running around the yard or whatever it is you're trying to shoot. The moment you trip the shutter, there's no lag because you've already locked that focal point. You're ready to go. It's very fast.
Well, it sounds like a really interesting product. The EP1 was a big success, big hit with our readers. We liked it a lot ourselves, and this is adding some really useful new functionality. I think especially the video capability, the fact that you've now got full manual control, you've got audio output. It really opens it up to the video enthusiast, and it makes it a very powerful tool for them.
I'm hoping it's as successful as the EP1 will be. It's a beautiful camera, so we'll see.
Yeah, I like the black body. I'd pay $50 extra just for that.
There you go.
And speaking of price, we don't know the price yet at this point. As I said, it's still a couple of weeks before the announcement, but very interesting looking little camera here from Olympus, the EP2, continuing the evolution of the interchangeable lens compact digital camera.